going on, everybody? Welcome to today's News Tonight, episode 127. As always, I'm joined by my good friend and GVG co-founder, Derek Bittner, right here in your upper left. I pointed the wrong way because I'm mirrored. And as you can see, Ash Paulson unfortunately couldn't make it. He has been replaced by the standard car bed, as is custom here on GVG. And I'm so thrilled that I'm able to introduce our special guest tonight, Masae Anela. I missed the last episode you were on, so I'm so happy that you're back.
Yeah, you were missing. I'm glad to finally meet you.
Likewise.
It has been. I kept missing you. So
yeah,
you can't have that.
One of these days we'll get the actual full group together with Masae, but Ash has just a ton of work to do today. He is, for those of you that don't know, he has gone to the dark side, which is games PR. So he is occasionally just a little bit too busy promoting things other than GVG. Shame on you, Ash.
How dare! Although kudos to him for being so swamped and still getting his discussion on Blaster Master 03 out. That's impressive.
Yeah, you should definitely go check that out. It stars one of our community members, 112, and our previous TNT guest, Shadowrock ZX. So it is a really fun discussion. Make sure you go check that out if you've got the time. I hear there's another discussion that we'll probably talk a bit more about later in the show. But before we get too far into things, we do have a sponsor for this episode. It's Friday, so you all know what that means. This episode of TNT is brought to you by the Soul Device 2 and its developer, Straight-Lace, of course. Thank you so much for your support. The Soul Device 2 is a puzzle platformer where the player can create temporary platforms at the cost of HP to navigate the environment. The developer, Straight-Lace, is working hard to hammer out and refine the game's engine before moving on to level design. But if all goes according to plan, the game will be available on Steam for early access as soon as Wednesday, September 1st. Ooh. And as of now, the store page is already public, and it's in the description down below right now if you want to check it out. As the game is still in early development, Straight-Lace would appreciate any feedback on the game concerning both bug reports and enjoyability in general, but if you just pick it up to have fun, that's awesome too. You can learn more about it on Straight-Lace's YouTube channel, which has some videos detailing some of the mechanics in the game. As always, Straight-Lace, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of TNT. We appreciate all the support you've shown us.
Absolutely.
And go play the Soul Device 1. That's free to play on Steam now, and the Soul Device 2 is coming into early access. Again, that page is linked down below. But Masae, I have to ask, and it feels weird for me to ask you this, how you been since the last time you were on? I've been great.
I've been good. It's been so long. It's been so long since we've chatted. Never. It's been good. It's been good. I've been.
Who the hell are you?
I ask myself that question in the mirror every morning.
I've been keeping busy mostly, so yeah, it's been hectic, but I mean it's good. I always like to keep busy, or else I start spinning my little hamster wheel in my brain, and I'm like, I should be getting more done. But no,
that's a constant.
Yeah, that's just life.
I know, right?
But you have got a lot done, at least recently. We were just talking about this is a new backdrop for you, right?
Yeah. I'm very
excited. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of work. The shelves are new. There's sound acoustic foam on the walls. Ooh. You don't see that part, but it's like a whole big thing. I'm very excited about it.
I appreciate the seriousness with which you approach your audio setup. I think I spy an Elgato Wave 3 right there, or whatever that microphone is.
What? Oh, this?
Yeah.
It's a Neumann TLM 103.
That's even better. I appreciate people with good audio setups.
I got super into upgrading all my stuff, but the downside is now my wallet's hurting, so I'm I need to slow down.
Yeah, I
need a knot for a bit.
I just paid this off this month, and I was like, oh god, and there's a part of me that's like, okay, what's next? But then there's a part of me that's like, maybe just don't be broke for a while. That'd be cool too.
Yeah, no, that's me. I'm like, what's next? Maybe nothing for a little bit.
I mean, I'd like to get some upgrades here and there, or a fun thing. I mean, thankfully I didn't have to buy a new computer, thank God.
Yeah, that was touch and go for a minute.
Yeah, and I kind of have to pay for a kid. That's kind of expensive.
Right. That's the best upgrade. That's
I guess,
the biggest life upgrade, right?
A little
You're
bit, yeah.
upgrading life, dude.
It is debatable. Like, there are times where you're like, this was a great upgrade, and there are times where you're like, what did I do to myself? Why did I do this?
Oh,
Why am I on this
no.
journey?
No.
Yeah. I saw some people mention that I am back from vacation already. We usually go for the whole week, but we couldn't find a babysitter for Kai. There was just nobody around and too expensive, just not able to make it happen. So we just went down for 2 days and hung out with friends and whatnot. And we had to do the customary run because it's yummy. We had to go to the lovely store, try my nuts, in order to get white trash, which is literally just white chocolate covered pretzels, cereal, and pecans. But it's really good. But yeah,
I mean, it sounds delicious.
Yeah, it does. Sounds quite good. I mean, the name.
I mean, only the most upscale places.
White tablecloth sort of deal.
Yeah, exactly. They have a strict dress code. Two tops and hot pants only.
Yeah. I mean, it's a we typically go down to Outer Banks, somewhere around Avon, and we always Amy likes to get the white trash, and I like to we both like to go to the restaurant down there. It has really great burgers called just Bros.
Bros.
It's just called Bros Burgers, and it's really good. But we got that done.
A burger joint called Bros.
I had the Frenchie Bro.
The Frenchie Bro.
I think it's I forget exactly what was on it, but yeah, it's good stuff.
Nice. Well,
we
do have a ton of news to get to. It's a surprisingly packed Friday, but before that, there's like a million super chats as well.
Mm-hmm.
The community
people are excited
very
for Masae.
excited for Friday. Let's go ahead and start with our good pal and recurring Friday super chatter, Jaden Buck, with a $10 super chat. Crazy question Fridays. Crazy question number 5. You're digging through your drawers and you find a USB drive with your most embarrassing memories on it. How will you destroy it? I'm not going to. I am a businessman. I will offer those as a Patreon goal. We get to $7,000 a month. I will upload everything on that thumb drive.
Oh my!
I was going to say 10,000, but okay, you do you.
Hey.
I'm hoping they'll overshoot. Like they'll just go past it.
Probably keep it in the drawer because it's guaranteed to be lost at that point. There's just no way. Like if I hadn't seen it in how long, it's just gone. So just like, nope, bury it, lock it away like the Ark, the Holy Ark and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah, the Ark. I'm like, am I thinking the name wrong? I'm
we have
having
our
a brain
top men
fart there.
working on it.
Yeah, top men, just keep them away. Or keep it away.
I'd probably flush it like the pile of crap it probably would be.
Ooh, wow.
I like it.
There you go.
What if a Ninja Turtle finds it? They have the internet.
Well, I mean, it would be fried by that point. There's no saving a USB drive that goes into a
fair.
toilet.
No amount of rice will save a flushed USB drive. All right, moving on. Bongo Lover with a Canadian $5 super chat says, it's my birthday. Well, happy birthday.
Ooh, happy birthday.
Here's a little thanks for making these past few months bearable. Gonna play some No More Heroes 3 and drink Danimals while listening to y'all. Half of that sounds great.
Yeah. Obviously the Danimals part.
I love No More Heroes so much to folks because I feel like it is difficult to describe, and YouTube is kind of the perfect medium for a game that defies explanation because then you could actually see it. Brandon did an excellent job editing that review. I was just the words guy on that one, which is kind of how I like it, honestly. But, moving forward, RC with a $5 super chat says, Steve, I only know one thing. I want to kill the minions. I need to. It's not a hope or a dream. It's like a hunger, a thirst. I mean,
I feel like we went to a dark place.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Look, I won't go into my feelings about minions, but just know that I support you in realizing your dream. Fangs the Wolf with a $5 super chat just says ka-chow, which of course is for our fallen compatriot Ash. And by fallen, I mean hopefully fallen into bed and getting some rest. Homeboy just has a lot of work.
Yeah.
Brett GB with a $5 super chat says, glad to see Masae on the show tonight. Keep up the good work, everyone. I'm glad to see her too. I'm glad that I'm meeting her for the first time, and that I will probably
always happy to talk to Masae.
Very, very glad to be back.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. Speaking of, we have a lot of news to discuss, and this show is called Today's News Tonight. So I will get to the rest of the super chats in between stories. For those of you that might be new here, we are going to move on to the first story, which is about our Switches all trying to be the very best there ever was. Surprise! Nintendo of America just kind of out of nowhere announced that Pokémon TV is now available on the Nintendo Switch, which apparently features full episodes of the Pokémon TV show. And exciting matches from the world of Play Pokémon, new junior content for tiny trainers, and more. And I didn't even get a press release about this. This just kind of happened.
Yeah. It came out of nowhere. It's always been kind of free to use. They kind of, as far as I remember, because I did check out Pokemon TV at one point, and they kind of rotate what's available. It's not every season or anything like that, because that's what I was hoping for. It's like, oh man, I could binge this, but not quite. But
that's what I was actually going to ask about it, because I knew that it got dropped, but I wasn't sure if it was going to be like everything. But if it's just like a rotation thing, that's kind of lame. I don't know. I'm also a binger. I like to take a whole season and then just blast through it. I remember when I was younger, I watched through like the very beginning of Pokemon all the way up to Diamond in like a few days, something like that. And I was just like, I'm living right now. I'm living my dream and being just garbage and watching Pokemon. So
I'm trying to see what exactly they all have on there, just to get an idea of like how much is on there. Because I'm looking here, they have the series, they have Pokemon specials, they have like Johto League Champions at some point. But yeah, it's like, here's season 3, here's season 22, here's season 23. It's just, there's not really any kind of like watched here. It's just like, throw it on episode for your kids.
Random seasons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say that this very much has like a kid vibe to it. I have learned recently that the watching habits of kids make like no sense whatsoever. They just don't care about continuity, anything. They're just like, oh, I like this brand and thus I will watch it. My son has been watching Dragon Ball and I've been like, all right, we need to start from the beginning and work our way through. And somehow I got him to watch all of OG Dragon Ball, which I don't know how I managed that. I'm proud of myself, but
very good.
Like
very good.
Then ever since I was like, all right, man, you've graduated from original Dragon Ball. We will get to Z at some point. He just picks random episodes now. He's like, yeah, I'm going to watch Goku Black from Super. Then I'm going to go watch Gohan fight Cell. And now I'm going to jump over to Ultra Instinct. And I'm like, do you not like care about what's going on in the story? He's like, no, these are just rad. I like
he just wants to watch the cool stuff.
Yeah. And so I'm like, I guess they probably, like I can see my kids now, because they all have their own Switches, like downloading Pokemon TV and just being like, oh, this is the episode where Pikachu blasts the hell out of Team Rocket. And I love that. And I'm going to watch it 85 times. No, I don't care about what's going on around it.
Doing that.
Yeah, very much so.
I mean, get them while they're young.
The thing that caught my attention about this, it's like, still don't have Netflix, but we've got Pokemon TV, so
yeah,
weird flex,
I was
Nintendo.
I was thinking that. Then like I was just like, yo, some of us adults want to watch TV on my Switch too. Give me that Netflix.
It is weird that we have YouTube, but not Netflix. Like it kind of throws the whole like concerned parent angle out the window when you think about what's on YouTube.
Netflix was on the Wii U, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. And the 3DS. Like it's just
yeah,
weird
that's right. It was on the 3DS. I forgot about that.
Yeah, for like 8 minutes, Netflix and Nintendo were like, we're going to put 3D content on Netflix for DS people. And they're like, no, we're not.
Bizarre. That was bizarre.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
Every night in Brandon Bovia point out, we have Hulu and Funimation, but no Netflix. So we got our third streaming service. So there we go.
I don't understand it. Like there's got to be
just like having anime on our Switch.
I wonder if it's like bad blood. Remember for a while,
the
Wii U and the DS and the 3DS were not sold by Amazon, and neither company would indicate why that happened. Like Amazon just walked away from Nintendo. They're like, yeah, we're not going to sell any of your stuff anymore, even your wildly successful DS. And I think Kotaku at the time like reached out to both of them and they're like, hey, what's going on? Why can't you buy Nintendo products on Amazon? And neither company ever commented. And then the Switch came out and Amazon was like, okay, we like you again. Please come back.
Actually worth shipping these. So
yeah,
all right.
People actually want to buy this. But yeah, it's just a weird situation. I imagine some kind of like, I mean, because Nintendo, and I wonder if they've changed. It's so hard to find out these things now, but Nintendo, at least in the NES era, was known for just being kind of draconian with their tactics in terms of how they worked with partners. And I wonder if maybe Netflix and Nintendo just can't come to an agreement on how Netflix should work on the Switch. Like maybe Nintendo wants a cut of subscription fees or something, or maybe Netflix wants some kind of special deal and they just can't come to terms. I mean,
yeah, possibly.
There's got to be some weird business logic to this, because why else would you have all of these other services and not like the most popular one?
I mean, there's one thing for sure is that ultimately it's going to boil down to money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Something about the monetary aspect of it isn't jiving. Like otherwise it would have been on there a long time ago.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that.
At the very least, if you got a Pokemon fan kid, and they're in the car, toss on that hotspot, watch that.
Oh yeah.
Let me drive in peace.
True.
Yeah, I can imagine that my next long road trip, whenever we can do those again, because I'm not taking my kids like on long trips until I can get them vaccinated. But next time we have something like that, I could absolutely, like, my daughter is 8. You know, she loves her Switch more than anyone in this house. Like,
oh wow,
she could wake up and I could be like bleeding on the floor, and she'd be like, "Have you seen my copy of Miitopia?" She'd just step over me to go put her Switch in the dock in the morning.
It was like, Dad, you're not answering. Pokes the wound.
Yeah,
starts using torture tactics.
Dad's really cold, but also I still have time on my Switch, so we're fine.
No. Oh, I'm distraught.
Trust me, you'll get there, Derek. 7 years from now, Kyle will be like, "Dad, where's my copy of Luigi's Mansion 5?"
Exactly.
I don't care that you're tired. I don't care that it's 4:45 a.m. I want to know where my game is, Dad.
I'm hanging on to the fact that all I have to do is like to him, and he'll smile back. I'm just hanging on to that.
Enjoy these halcyon days of having good children. Just wait. 2 years from now, you'll be like, "What happened? I was his hero."
Yeah.
No, you'll always be his hero.
Yeah.
He'll just like other things.
He'll just get really tsundere about it. That's all.
There we go. You just gotta get through that.
They get tsundere about it. You know?
That's what I get for showing him anime. You just got tsundere.
That is a really good way to put it. That is my 2-year-old all over. Anyway, Pokemon TV on the Switch. If you like just watching like scattershot episodes of Pokemon with no context around them, this is the app for you. Hopefully, I actually will check this out just to show my kids. I'll be like, "Look, Pokemon anime on the Switch. I bet you wish I'd let you open the eShop." Dad is still king. All right. Go ahead.
If the episodes like cycle out, I'm just waiting for like kids to latch onto one episode and then it just gets cycled out before they're done repeating it 100 times.
That will definitely
gonna
happen.
That'd be the worst.
Gonna happen. Anyway, that was just a random thought that I had about
it. Is I will say this is an excellent tool for promoting the upcoming Pokemon games this holiday season. I guarantee that this app will somehow be rife with ads for Legends and the Pearl and Diamond remakes soon, if not already.
Yeah.
Good excuse to throw the Diamond and Pearl anime on there too.
Yeah. Maybe it's on there now. I don't know. I'm 39.
I hear that's one of the better sets of seasons. I've not watched
that's
it
what
myself.
I've heard too. I will say that I liked. I'm not like a Pokemon anime buff at all. My Pokemon anime experience begins and ends with Mewtwo's Revenge, like the 90s version or the early aughts version. I loved that movie. I loved it so much. And then they had like a Silver and Gold anime special that featured a Snorlax, and I was like,
Pokemon Chronicles, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that.
I just remember Meryl and Snorlax playing together, and I was like, this is the best.
So Stardust Whip pointed out they got the Diamond and Pearl anime, but it'll go away in early September. What the heck?
What?
Before
Maybe they're like they'll Jones for it and they'll buy the game.
Maybe.
I want Diamond and Pearl in my life. All right. Before we move on, we do have quite a few more super chats. Starting with Chance Estes with a $5 super chat says, just wanted to show some support. Been listening to the GVG cast since the Game Explained days. Keep it up. Well, thank you. We will.
Thank you.
In fact, it felt a little bit old-timey here today with Derek getting a Metroid discussion up in the wee hours of the morning. Well, wee hours of the morning for me. But I woke up to find a new discussion on the channel. I was like, when did that happen?
It was Metroid, man. I was on that.
My proverbial hat off to you, sir. I hadn't even watched the trailer before I got a notification about a video on the channel about it. So, well done. Moving on, Sakari Saukonen with a €4.99 donation says, hey, Derek and Steve, first time I'm able to see you live since I live in Finland. Going to bed, 2 a.m. here, but wanted to show some love. You are great. Well, you're great. Staying up till 2 a.m.
Seriously.
To watch us?
I know, right? I always stayed up at 2 a.m. to watch Adult Swim. That was way better than us.
Yeah. I mean, they got Rick and Morty now. Anyway.
I'm old school. I was watching Aqua Teen Hunger Force and
Same.
my first adult anime. Like that was Cowboy Bebop and Inuyasha time.
I love
adult anime.
Yeah, I know. When I hear adult
it's exciting
anime,
after watching Toonami, knowing that they cut stuff out. I was like, "Ooh, it's uncensored now." That's exciting.
It's true. That is true. Inuyasha was I don't know, man. That was a frustrating anime to follow back in the day.
Yeah.
I was like, does it ever end?
No.
No, it doesn't. We're going to find these Shikon jewel shards. Or maybe we won't. Who knows? Watch for the next 10 years to find out. Anyway. Following that up, Thomas Nerds Out with a $5 super chat says, just wanted to give a shout out to my fiance. Less than a month till our wedding. Also, little sister is no longer confined to an oxygen tank. Hooray.
That's good.
Man, that is awesome news all around. Congratulations to you and your betrothed. And bigger congratulations to your little sister. I hope she's doing great. That is awesome to hear, Thomas. So best wishes to you and your entire family. And thank you so much for the super chat.
Absolutely.
Following that up, Joseph Bayer with a $4.99 super chat. Is Pokemon TV the reason Netflix isn't on Switch? I doubt it.
I saw somebody in the YouTube chat suggest it might have been because of the Netflix leaking the Zelda TV show that was supposed to go on Netflix, and Nintendo being like, well, I'm taking all my toys away. Screw you.
Yeah, that very well may be. It's definitely not Pokemon TV, but I'm sure it is some kind of weird business negotiation that requires multiple advanced degrees to understand. Following that up, Black Ninja with a $5 super chat says, let's effing get it. Strawberry on the shortcake. No More Heroes 3. Picking it up soon. Work is a pain, but it pays for the games. Good vibes, all. Man, that is like an encapsulation of my life right there.
Yeah.
Super chat. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. It's incredibly generous, Black Ninja. Always good to see you in the chat, and I hope you enjoy No More Heroes 3. I reviewed it. It's great. I love it. Watch the review if you want to know more about it. I won't gab. But, finally, Rubberman202 with our final super chat of this segment. $5 says, happy 36th anniversary to the Japanese release of Mock Rider. I'm sure at least one of you out there besides me cares. Super underrated NES game.
I've never played it.
I have not. I'm not going to lie. When I heard Mock Rider, my mind went to Masked Rider, which is a Sentai show. Like, it's not, it has nothing to do with, I'm actually going to look it up right now just because the name is in the back of my mind.
Well, that was one of the characters rumored in the Grinch leak.
Yes, you're right. Mock Rider, I have never played. So unfortunately, I grew up with a Sega in my house and not an NES for a long time. Mock Rider was one of those games that just passed me by. Even when it was a contemporary title, I'd never really heard of it. So I trust your judgment that it's awesome, and I hope that someday you get some kind of love for that game, because I imagine that there's not a ton of it. Like, it's not a game that's talked about very much.
It looks extremely 80s with those shoulder pads.
Yes, it does. Character designs like square out of the 80s. Oh, and Kamen Rider is the base of. Oh, I know that Kamen Rider is Masked Rider. Kamen just means mask in Japanese. So I definitely know that. I watched it. It used to be a Power Rangers follow-on back in the day. Anyway, we got a lot more news to cover. This second story fills me with dread for next week. Let's go ahead and just get it on screen. And the exhibitor list for PAX is finally out. And it is, how you say, Spartan. There's not a lot going on. Of the seemingly like 50 exhibitors showing up of all shapes and sizes, the only one that really does any AAA like games content is Bandai Namco. And
I guess Tales of Arise chance
Tales of Arise, maybe Elden Ring in video form. I don't know what else there's going to be, but I'm going to be at PAX next week.
Well, like I said, I think it's a good idea to cover just how Spartan, like, just to have that show floor and just show how different it is compared to most years.
That'll be interesting in itself, right?
That's what I want to see. I want to see how this compares, like how many people are there, like what shows up.
I'm legitimately very curious how it's gonna be.
Same.
Because I won't be there this year, but like, I mean, I miss it, and I remember what PAX was, and that that's the last thing that I remember was it bustling as normal. So just seeing what comes out of it and what it looks like now will be interesting.
Yeah. There was I didn't, when I grabbed this list, I didn't grab, apparently there's a other thing being tossed around is that in order to try to get more companies to sign up, they were saying like, oh, these guys are there. We're talking to them and not really doing that. Like, it's like probably like, oh, Nintendo will be there. No.
Yeah.
And trying to trick people to kind of sign up for this thing.
I knew it was suspicious. I've been going to shows for like a decade now. E3, PAX West are the two that I go to almost every year. Right. And normally around this time, my calendar is so full that I'm wondering when I'm going to have time to eat. And I don't even have like a meeting because I've been sent requests, but like they're all for things that aren't a good fit for the channel. I had a meeting today, technically a PAX meeting, but they had emailed me and said, hey, we're going to be at PAX, like book a meeting right now. And they had like a little calendar link where you go and you sign in and you put in your details and they book you a time, and it didn't work. And so I emailed them back and I was like, hey, that link you sent doesn't work. I can't book a meeting with you. And they're like, oh yeah, we're not going anymore. We changed our mind.
Oh, geez.
I was like, oh. And they're like, we'll still meet with you though. And I was like, okay. But
yikes.
Man.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting thing. I reached out to Nintendo. They were like, we're not going to be there. I reached out to Microsoft. They're like, no way. And it's like 10 minutes from where their headquarters are. Like, right. I mean, it is such like a non-effort for them to do PAX West, but they're like, yeah, nope. And from what I hear, the attendance is like 25% a normal PAX.
Whoa.
Which means you guys will be a little bit safer, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely, I want to be clear. We're, Ash and I are fully vaccinated, but we're still wearing masks, packing hand sanitizer, doing everything we can to keep ourselves and the people around us safe, because
you still don't want con crud.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that, or, I mean, there are folks that are vaccinated that have gotten COVID. I don't want to be one of those.
Right.
Yeah.
So, it is a big worry. But I think what we're going to end up doing probably is focusing a lot more on the human aspect of the show. Like you guys implied, like showing off the show floor, because I think a lot of people will be curious what PAX West looks like. So we're going to take the camera around the floor, show people what the show actually ended up turning out like. And hopefully we will get to meet with some folks, and we'll probably spend a lot of time just looking for fun indie games that people aren't talking about, because that is one of the highlights of PAX that we usually don't have enough time to get to, is to showcase really good like indie titles. And I think they kind of need these shows more than your AAA publishers do right now.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. Yeah, that's totally fair. That'd be really interesting for everyone to see more indie stuff, and like, there's been a lot of good indie games, so hey, you'll find some gems, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll definitely go looking. I think the last like fun indie game I found at a PAX was oh god, it was about pizza delivery, but you were in a giant mech and you had to like slam a pizza into a building and like
Hey,
fight
I want to play that.
monsters.
Yeah,
Let me find the
pizza
name.
time.
Hi.
It was really fun.
That sounds silly and right up my alley.
Yeah, really
That's
does.
my vibe. Pizza Max? Heck
Pizza
yeah.
Max.
What was it called? Pizza
I mean-
Titan Ultra is what it is, and
Pizza
it's
Titan
actually really
Ultra.
fun and very funny.
All right.
I had run into them at PAX, and it was a pretty good time. Anyway, yeah,
Well, there are some
Bookmark?
interesting studios in here that I am noticing. A lot of them seem to be like gamerware. Like we got Fan Gamer, we got Gunner, and all that. But then there's also, I love this, poorly timed games. I was like, that is right
what a
on the
name,
money.
right?
And then another one that I'm like, well, this is straight up Steve's alley. New Belgium Brewing Company.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. I'm like, I mean, like,
Are they
I will
serving
do some
alcohol
drinking at
there?
PAX. I mean, I feel
right.
weird. I probably will try to avoid at all costs consuming food on the show floor. Normally, I'm
good
okay with that.
Yeah.
Like, I'll grab, I'll go to an open area and grab some food and just sit down in the hall and eat and then move on to my next thing. But I feel like I'll probably just wait to get outside, especially since it'll probably be kind of more of a down-paced show, like quieter, easier to get in and out of. I
Right.
might just go grab food and go somewhere with a little bit more open air.
You don't want to check out Neon Noodles, another one of the exhibitors that's listed on here.
Oh, I absolutely will. I think what I'm going to try to do is hit every exhibitor just because there's so few.
Yeah,
Normally
I mean,
it's like
totally
overwhelming.
possible.
You get into these shows and you're like, oh God, there's so many places to
Yeah.
go. And I feel like this isn't going to be that show.
I see D&T on there, and I'm just like, hello? That feels targeted. Please go check that one out and include that because I want to see
Report
it.
that.
Absolutely. I will
like-
100% go do that.
I'm also really curious about rescue pets. Are they literally have pets on the show, or is that just like a name of the developer? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a really good question. I feel like we're definitely going to have time to like really explore PAX. So stay tuned. Like we'll have videos of this, maybe even live. I've got some prototype stuff working so that we can stream from the show floor, but it's always different when you actually get there and you try. So
It's a lot more common to have issues.
yes. So we'll probably test it, and if it works, then we'll just run around the show floor live on GVG, like showing you guys what it's like to be at PAX West 2021. But if not, we'll record footage, we'll take it back, and we'll do what we normally do, which is edit it and upload it. But I'm very excited. I think PAX West will be fun, but probably not for the reasons PAX West is usually fun. It'll be more fun because we're going to do a lot of like stupid shit from the Airbnb, like stream late at night, eat lots of weird food. We have a mind-blowing Zelda Four Swords stream planned.
Ooh,
we're
that'd be
bringing
fun.
a GameCube. We're bringing 4 Game Boy Advance SPs, and
Oh,
we are going to
man.
stream Four Swords the way it was intended.
Oh,
Except
my
that nobody will be
goodness
able to
gracious.
see what's going on on your Game Boy
Not
screens.
true. We have a rig. We're going to have an overhead rig with cameras set up so that people can see each person's GBA SP screen
Oh,
and
wow.
Oh
feed from
my
GameCube.
god.
It is going to
Wow.
be the most amazing thing we've ever done.
Amazing.
I had to dig out my special edition Naruto Game Boy Advance SP that I've had since like 2002, and I'm taking that with me. It'll be the first time it's been used in 20 years almost.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oof.
it
Actually,
is
it does.
gonna be really exciting.
That does remind me. I guess that confirms that Runaway Guys are not going to PAX this
Yeah,
year for
that's true.
their show.
Not as far as I'm aware.
Well, I assume you usually help with setup, so that usually indicates you going along.
No, there hasn't been much discussion, so.
Fair.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's almost like people want to stay safe. I don't get it.
Yeah, who knew?
As I prepare to go. Anyway, I'm also the guy who ate ridiculously hot chicken on stream for super chat donations, so
Gun control is
my
a different
safety is
thing.
secondary. All right, before we move on, we've got one more super chat from Kane Woolley. which is $5 says, speaking of smaller games, I am playing Psychonauts 2 on the PS5. Please don't sleep on this game. It is, not being hyperbolic, a masterpiece platformer. I have heard the same. I have played
I have heard
little.
people toss around Game of the Year, and I'm like, wait,
Yep.
what?
I need to play Psychonauts 1.
You do.
I know that it's real good. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Psychonauts 1 was really good, really inventive, but also a little loose. Like, it was, you could definitely tell like it was where the adventure game roots came from for Double Fine at that time, and they hadn't quite got the platforming aspect done. Still really good, but never quite top tier quality. And to hear people toss around, oh, this is my game of the year, I'm like, wait, what?
Oh.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's a good way to get my attention.
If you have an Xbox, it's on Game Pass. So I'll always shout that out, like, "Hey, get an Xbox! It's $2.99." Psychonauts 1, which I stupidly sold back when I was broke, like in my 20s, is now on Game Pass for free. So definitely go get it. All right, moving on to our next news story. I forgot what it was, so I'm coming up with a segue. Oh, right. I'm going to steal a line I heard on Twitter, and that is that August has been a very good month for April. That's right. April and Catdog. I mean, who cares about Catdog? But April O'Neil from Ninja Turtles was announced for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. Along with Catdog, apparently, I didn't know it was a Steam game, but it's up on Steam. We reacted to this live at the end of the Future Games show, and Derek, you had to take off. And of course, they saved it as like the very last thing. So let me throw it to you first, man, since, they already got my take and they got Ash's take. How did you feel finding out that April and Catdog had made it in?
Well, on my vacation, I go on Twitter, and all of a sudden I see this new render of April O'Neil, and I think it was Ash like raving about like April. Just as in the live chat, April hype. I'm like, wait, what? And like, I knew about the beat 'em up, but where'd she come from here? Just out of nowhere to have April O'Neil in the Brawl game, and she looks fun. I think she looks a little bit more fun in the beat 'em up, but still pretty cool to have it in this. Like, it's what a deep cut. Like, I would not have expected 2 games to pull April O'Neil out, especially not this one. This is just out of nowhere to me.
Yeah, I gotta say, Ash had been talking about Raphael and Donatello being in the game, and I think that's where everybody thought we'd get another Ninja Turtles character, was one of the 2 missing turtles, and to find out it was April, I gotta say, it's way better than getting a 3rd Ninja Turtle, in my opinion, just because I like it's cool to have a badass female character, and 2, it's good to, we've got so many games where we can play as all the Ninja Turtles. I like getting these side characters. I like April being there, and her just being like her 80s reporter self. Like, I really, really like that about her. Like, I grew up with yellow jumpsuit April. I mean,
yeah.
who on the news dresses like that? That's a whole other thing, but I really like this character. Masae, what are your thoughts on these 2 characters being added to the game?
Don't hate me. I don't know who April O'Neil is.
Well, okay. Did you ever watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at all?
I did not.
Okay.
I know very precious little about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
So,
what's the order of the words? So that wasn't my bag when I was a kid. I apologize.
That's cool.
That's fine.
So basically,
but on the other hand, Catdog though, I watched.
Yes, who cares about Catdog? Right there, we got the Catdog stand.
Nice.
Yeah, hey, I watched a lot of Catdog when I was growing up, and that was one of my favorite shows. So I'm like, yo, Catdog. I can
Are
play
you interested in
Catdog
this?
and I'll beat him up.
Are you as weirdly interested in this fighting game as the rest of us? Like, it's one of those things.
Curious about it. I'm curious as heck. Like,
yeah.
It's so interesting just to see the blend of characters and like Catdog.
I know, right?
Like, it's a very strange blend of characters that I never thought would even like be in a modern day video game.
I mean,
I'm just like,
I've seen them together, and like I've seen plenty of the Nicktoons kart racers and stuff like that. And it's never really done much for me, but to have a apparent pedigree with this developer and the way they're putting them together, it's like, why does this look weirdly fun? I'm not used to
really
this with
does.
Nicktoon stuff.
I'm kind of
wounding
surprised.
Ash, and I'm sorry, Ash. I'm
I mean,
sorry.
he's just upset because, childhood crush and all that. That was a lot of young
I'm
boys'
so
childhood crushes.
sorry. I'm never
Um,
getting
th-
invited again. Oh no.
Nah, you're good.
We'd beat him 2-1 in a vote. It's fine.
He, all you really need to know, female friend of the Turtles in the old shows kind of got captured a lot, but she was spunky and always went for that story.
Oh, good.
Think Lois Lane.
Yeah.
Who?
Oh, Superman.
Superman's
Superman
girl.
reporter
Okay,
lady.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Understood.
Oh no. It's like when you look up the definition of a word, it just uses the word in the definition. It's like that doesn't help me.
What?
Nice. Although, to be fair, Ash does have a particular affinity for Ninja Turtles because his dad did play 2 of the Ninja Turtles. I have to ask this, to you, Masae, as the resident Catdog stan here. Can you kick Catdog's ass?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, is it possible, though? Does Catdog physically have an ass to be kicked?
They have to. It probably meets right in the center, You kick him right in the middle, and then there you go. That's his butt.
Yeah, just 2 birds, 1 stone.
There
It's
we
both
go.
at the same time, in fact.
I-
2 for 1.
Does that mean
God.
Catdog has to lose 2 stock when you get him off the stage? Since technically
That'd be
you're
hilarious.
offing cat and
That
dog.
would be really funny.
That would be hilarious.
Give them twice the power, but they also lose 2 stock every time.
Jets asking about Winslow, but no, I'd be seriously laughed if there was taunts in this game, and then just Winslow came out through a just door in the background just to come up and like berate people.
Nice.
It'd be
That
fun.
would be amazing. I'm looking forward to this game. The more I see of it, the more excited I get, and that is weird because the last Nicktoons game I played was terrible. Like,
do you?
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna ask Masae if she has a main right now. Of all the characters have been announced so far, which one are you most excited for?
Okay. I'm not sure if she's actually like fully been announced or whatever, but I saw the silhouettes and I see Korra in there.
Oh yeah,
I'm
Korra.
like, hello,
Ooh.
Avatar of some sort. Yeah, give me Korra.
I think
I'm
they also
about
have like
that.
the outline of Aang there. So
I'm also about Aang. Give me Aang. I'm down for
okay.
both.
woman of taste, I love it.
Nice. What about you, Derek? Who's your main?
Oh gosh, I'm trying to think back to the whole roster again because I saw one as like who was it? Dang it! Of course, I'm drawing a blank now. I am hoping for the Angry Beavers is my hopeful to get
that
in
would be
there.
Cool.
Yo, you know who I'm surprised is even in there at all?
Who's
like,
that?
There was the silhouette. I don't know if it was actually announced. I haven't been keeping on top of it, but like Ren and Stimpy rep.
Yes, I believe it. They haven't
That-
confirmed it, but it does seem like their outline's there.
Well, there is
That's
currently
Also, we got
wild.
Powdered
to me.
Toast Man.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That is. Oh right, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's wild to me. Just that Ren and Stimpy rep. Like
God,
Ren and Stimpy exist, I guess.
That was like the first edgy cartoon I ever watched. I remember thinking like, oh my God, they're getting away with so much on TV when I was a kid. Watching Ren and Stimpy, I was like, how do my parents let me watch this? It's not that bad.
Same, big same.
I'd catch episodes and be like, "This is too weird for me. This is like."
Gaze into my nipples of the future. Or the what is it? Powdered Toast Man like always clenches his butt cheeks super hard before he takes off. Like you see them, like, clenched together.
Happy, joy. Happy, joy.
Oh God!
I
every
did know
time-
that. You could not escape that.
Yep.
Yep.
Or Log rolls downstairs.
Oh.
Runs
Oh, yeah.
over neighbor's dog.
Log. It's
Yeah.
I forget how exactly it went, but yeah.
It's Log. It's better than bad. It's good.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Something.
Nice. Well, I can't wait for this game. I truly want to play the hell out of this when it comes out. I'm surprised I'm saying that. For those of you that asked in the YouTube chat, I was approached about doing a sponsored video a long time ago for Nicktoons Racer. And one of my stipulations whenever anybody approaches me about sponsored content is I need to play the thing you want me to promote first, because I will not promote a bad game. And it was very bad. And I felt really like it's always hard to like tell someone like, no, I won't take your money, because I would have to lie. Because, you know, like, they don't pay you to like objectively just give your actual opinion. They want you to say nice
That doesn't
things.
help
That's
them.
the point of it being a commercial. And
Right.
I mean, they wanted me to play it. It would have been one thing if they were like, hey, have your kids play it and maybe they'll have a good time. And they did offer that up as an option, but they were like, you can't talk about Mario Kart. You can't talk about other kart racing games. You can't say the names of them.
That's almost impossible.
Right. And so what I did was I sat down with the game and I played a little bit of it, and I was like, I hate this. Like, I don't like this game even a little bit. It's not even good as like a funny haha bad game, which of course wouldn't make for a good ad either. And then I was like, okay, well, let me bring my kids in and see what they think. And they're like, yeah, I like Mario Kart. This isn't Mario Kart.
Oh
And
my
I was like,
god.
so I just emailed Nickelodeon back, and I was like, hey guys, I'm really sorry, but like I just can't make it work. Like, I don't think it'll be a good fit. And I was like, please don't ask me like for more detail than that. Like, please don't try to work it out. Unfortunately, they didn't, but I would have had to be like, yeah, your game sucks. But yeah, so that's the story of the game that I didn't do a sponsored post for. Anyway, speaking of sponsored posts, in a way, we have a few super chats before we move on to our next news story. First up being from Brian Rivero with a $4.99 super chat, says, I think for the TMNT fighters, they should get different versions for each TMNT character, similar to how the Zelda characters are treated in Smash.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. Like, I would definitely like
classic
that.
Leo, Raph from Rise of the TMNT, the 3D 2013 one for Mikey or whatever. That'd be fun.
And then just the live action one.
Yes. That's a good version.
Kind of Muppety looking. Maybe you could have Vanilla Ice as like a like an assist.
Well, that version of the Turtles was in Injustice 2. You remember?
That's right. I never ended up playing that, but I really need to. Injustice is one of those games where I played it and I was like, damn, I love this. And then I put it down and never picked it up again for seemingly no reason. Like, I really enjoy it.
That's me on most games.
I know. I feel like there's a point in life, especially when you're a content creator, where you pick up games and you're like, wow, that's so cool. And then you're like, oh, but I got other things to do. I'll come back to you in like 4 years. But all right.
Oh,
that's depressing.
Mood. Very mood.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like one of the things that people always mention to me when I tell them what I do here, they're like, oh man, that must be so much fun playing games all the time. And I was like, you'd think so. You would think so. But I'm always playing what someone else wants me to play.
For the most part. Sometimes you get lucky.
That's true. No More Heroes 3 was a perfect example of that for me. I got a game I really wanted to play. I played it early so nobody could spoil it for me. And now I'm back to work. It feels like it. All right. Speaking of things getting spoiled, though, let's go ahead and throw our next story up on screen. And the spoiler is Nintendo. How dare you?
Nintendo does it again.
Yeah. So I purposely left an incredibly vague image up here, but it basically says Metroid Dread Report Volume 6 Deep Dive into the new trailer. Now, if you watched TNT last week, I had mentioned that Nintendo had given us an actual release date for a new trailer, which was very weird of them. That's not a thing they usually do. And today was the day the trailer came out. And apparently, I don't know because I have chosen not to watch it. It is full of spoilers for the actual game.
Yeah, they show a lot, and a lot of it looks really cool. It gets you really hyped, but it's also one of those things like that. That's another reason I made sure to do a discussion with Some Call Me Johnny, so we could get into the spoiler section. And I figured this would show up for TNT. We're not going to spoil anything about it. You know, I don't want to get into that just because people come here for other news. And that's unfair to be like, I'm here for this, and I don't want to be spoiled about this other thing, because there's some really good stuff in here.
No.
Like, I kind of regret watching it, but it was one of those things like, all right, well, let's see if I can do anything for a deep dive, or, you know, my own deep dive, not actually looking at the Dread Report first, and then looking at the Dread Report later and be like, oh, it's all here. Well, nothing for me to do except to talk about this and how much this looks really freaking good. Like, it is. It's something that like Emil will tell you. You do not watch the final trailer for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It's just something
That
Nintendo
came to mind. That actually came to mind because that was not good. Not good.
It's something Nintendo constantly does, but they did it so much earlier this time around. I think because they are trying to get people to just buy this game as much as possible. Like they really are trying to hype it up. And granted, we're like a month and a few weeks away. We're less than 2 months away from the release, which is insane to think about. And I it just seems so much sooner. Usually it's like 2 or 3 weeks before the game comes out that they do the spoiler trailer. So it's just really unfortunate. I actually don't know how much Metroid you've played, Masae.
None. I watched the trailer and I was like, hey, that's cool. I got nothing out of it except, hey, I want to play this. So, I mean, it worked on me. I'm about to get into the Metroid thing and I'll play it. I'm very excited for it, actually. But as far as, like, everyone freaking out about spoilers and, like, oh, I wish I didn't watch the trailer, I'm like, yo, all that meant nothing to me. So
that is so fascinating because it's the people who have played a bunch of Metroid are like, oh god, it's so much. I've already been convinced, but these would have been cool surprises. But for you, it is like, no, that looks baller as hell. I want to check it out now.
For like newcomer. From a newcomer's perspective, watching the trailer, that trailer actually did convince me, like, all right, I'll give this game a go. Because I was already curious, and like Metroid is one of those series that I never got into, but everyone loves. Everyone loves Metroid. Everyone around me talks about Metroid. It seems like something that I would like if I actually got into it, but I just never did. So I was kind of like, oh, everyone's hyped about this game, and it looks like, the old school like Super Metroid for the SNES that everyone loved, and I was just like, I mean, I don't know if I have the patience to go back and play an old school version of that game because, game design has gotten better and my patience is very low. But also I watched this trailer and I was just like, yo, that looks sick. That looks pretty cool. And so, but I don't understand the spoilers. So, like, I don't even remember what could have been a spoiler in that.
Even me, like, I've seen some people mention things in chat. So there's like the one really big thing, and I'm not even going to bring it up. So, spoilers beware, Steve. Although, again, Nintendo has been really putting that one thing into the forefront on all their media channels. So, good luck avoiding it.
I have so far been like Ultra Instinct dodging every social post from Nintendo all day today. It is I will say though that I feel like they are being really effective with their marketing in that they're not angling for the Derek's and the Steves of the world right now. They're angling for the Masaes of the world.
They have our money.
Yeah, exactly. Like Nintendo knows, like, okay, our traditional fan base is sold. Like, we've got that money in the bank. We need to get folks that don't play this series to play this series now, and I mean, that's
hey,
what
it's working in the grand scheme of things. Like, the desired effect happened. I was on the fence about playing it, and then I saw that and I was like, yo, that looks fun, I'll buy it. And here we are, but everyone else is pissed.
I don't know if they're pissed. It's more this. It's just like
I've seen
maybe
some mad
pissed
on my Twitter today.
Okay,
yeah,
fair.
I've definitely seen some people mad about it. I mentioned earlier, John Cartwright, our good friend, watched it and immediately said he regretted watching it. So I was like, that's enough for me to know that I probably shouldn't do it either. And I get that. Like, I think that, one of the things that's really fun about games like these, especially if you're an existing fan, is the surprises, right? Like the things that you probably don't expect to see that I imagine are in the game. Also just knowing about, for me, what kind of power-ups I can get. I'd like to leave some of that mystery for October 8th. But I agree, I think a great way to draw in folks that are casually interested, like Masae here, is to show them more of that, right? Like, here are the really cool things that'll happen in this game, and if you're not a fan of the series, it doesn't mean anything to you. Like, there's no weight
really
or significance to it other than
it pulls you in just saying that looks cool. I want to do that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I had the same effect on me. That looks cool. I want to do that. So that's why I'm not mad and just sort of like, I just sort of accept because just to put this out there, Nintendo are terrible with spoilers when it comes to their embargoes. Like I've been spoiled by Nintendo after avoiding things from their embargoes. I learned early on not to read their embargoes until much, much later when I was further in the game because of that sort of thing. But they'll be like, you know, do not tell people about final boss. By the way, the name of the final boss is this. And it's like, oh, thanks.
No.
They've gotten better over the years, but for a while there, they were just like, I guess felt they needed to be specific, so they just spoiled everything.
No.
Which is a bit of a bummer as you're, you know, trying to review a game.
Oh yeah, when I got the Switch and Breath of the Wild, like review copies of those, I literally just like skimmed for the dates. I was like, okay, I gotta be done with it by this time on this date, and I'm putting it all away. I was like, when I beat Breath of the Wild, I'll go back and actually read this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair because I know from before they said do not show the Lionels in preview footage.
Yep.
Because the Lionels had not been revealed at that point. So right away, just boom, Lionel spoiled for reviewers if you read the embargo.
Right, right.
I will say though, that is the only embargo that I kept from Nintendo because it came with an autographed letter from Reggie. I was like, oh, I'm keeping this.
Oh,
like, that's
cool.
quite nice.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually really cool to get that. I wonder where I put it. I don't know where it is anymore. I definitely kept it. All right. Anyway, so
I will again, just as a quick reminder, if you do want to see hear my full thoughts on the trailer, check out the discussion. It's on the channel. I saw that Johnny had gotten spoiled as well, so I'm like, all right, you're grabbing you. We're talking about this because I gotta talk about it because it looks so freaking cool.
Yeah. Real quick, Top Dog, to answer your question, because I did see that you've asked this twice now. I don't want you to think we're ignoring you. Samus does wear an orange power suit in the beginning. This is like Dread Report 5, though. I don't think Derek was here for that episode, but in Dread Report 5, and we had called out, Derek was right. He called this in his deep dive like a couple weeks back at this point. But in Dread Report 5, they showed Samus wearing like a more traditional looking power suit. Like the organic stuff was orange, her shoulders were orange, the traditional Metroid colors with the white. And then they show later that something happens. They didn't reveal what it was, and she gets basically knocked out, and then she's in the blue suit. So as Derek posited in his original deep dive, Samus has that suit, that Varia suit at the beginning with the orange. Some cataclysmic event occurs and she loses her powers, which is kind of like the setup for most Metroid games, and that is what kind of reduces her to the blue suit. And I assume at some point she gets the Varia suit back or something.
Oh, I mean,
else.
That's just how Metroid goes at this point.
It really is. So yeah, to answer your question, that was already known before today, because Derek did the deep dive, and then Nintendo, as is now proven, just copies everything Derek says and incorporates that into Metroid later on.
They really shifted development on that one.
Yeah, exactly. They were like, oh shit, GVG said that this is how it should go. Quick, fix the game. That's how it goes, and I will accept no other answers. All right, it looks like we do not have any other... Oh, wait, we do. I'm sorry. There is one super chat here from Tyler Hardy with $1.99. Thank you so much. Says, love the trailer, but the spoilers were dreadful. I see what you did there, Tyler.
Nice.
Very, very nice. And we are down to one final story. And I feel like, just so you know, this was my day to do the news, but Derek kindly stepped in.
Well, I saw this. I'm like, what the heck? I wanted your insight in this.
This is interesting. I do have some things to say about this, but let's go ahead and throw this up on screen without any context. So here is a tweet from Suda51, and it says, No More Heroes 3 has been released. Thank you all so much for your kind messages. I truly hope everyone enjoys Travis Touchdown's final battle. Goodbye, Travis. Goodbye, No More Heroes. Goodbye, fleeting moments and days. Farewell to all Travis Touchdowns everywhere. And that makes my heart hurt just a little.
No.
I love No More Heroes, but I also don't believe most of the words that come out of Suda's mouth. I love him, but he is prone to hyperbole, and the reason I'm going to say this, this is based in fact and not fanboyism, I promise. he did an interview with our former colleagues at Game Explain like 2 weeks ago, in which he indicated that No More Heroes isn't over, and that they may in fact but if he does revisit the franchise, that it will be in another 10 years, and that he already has story elements for a No More Heroes 4 kind of planned out. So I don't know if he's really done with it, but there will be a part 2 because we will be talking to Suda51, I believe, the week after next. So when I come back from PAX, I will actually be sitting down with Suda51 to do a post-mortem on No More Heroes 3 to talk about how he feels about the game now that it's out, the things he couldn't fit into the game, and his hopes for an eventual sequel. So stay tuned to GVG for that. I'll find the answer to this question. But
interesting.
He did basically his statement so far on the sequel, excluding this tweet, which to be fair does come after the interview he did. He had said that he sees the story of No More Heroes 4. He sees the story of Travis Touchdown and No More Heroes being akin to that of Rocky Balboa, which is a weird thing to say on its face. But when you start to think about Travis a little bit and the story arc he's been through, his jacket, for instance, he has always been known for wearing like a tiger themed leather jacket, which if you know Rocky, that's like one of the first thing he buys when he gets actual money. He buys a tiger leather jacket. His jacket in Travis Strikes Again in katakana down the back of it says "Eye of the Tiger" on it. And I'm without spoilers, No More Heroes 3 contains more than a few Rocky references. In fact, there might be a shot-for-shot remake of a scene from Rocky in there.
Well, I'm wondering, like,
fun.
if it follows the Rocky, so is No More Heroes 3 Rocky 3 or Rocky 4?
No More Heroes 3 is Rocky 3, and he indicates that in No More Heroes 4, Travis would face a villain akin to Ivan Drago from Rocky, which would be an interesting story because that would technically mean, like, the villain would have to really mess Travis up, kill one of Travis's friends, and then Travis would have to come back and take revenge.
I almost wondered if they were going to go to the Creed method because, you know, it's been 10 years, follow that game time. He's older, maybe wiser, and has to train a protege.
That would be really interesting. Like, seeing Travis train a protege would be really interesting. The thing that I will say, again, without going into spoiler territory, is even if all you do is not listen to what Suda said and play No More Heroes 3, there's a very obvious hook for a sequel where he could easily make a sequel based off of the events of No More Heroes 3. So it'll be interesting. I mean, but I was watching our good friend Matt McMuscles. He and I talked a lot during the No More Heroes 3 embargo period because he was like the only person I knew that had the game. And so he and I chatted a bunch, and he recently sent me a video that is not yet available on his channel. I don't want to say what it is, but it's clearly No More Heroes related. And he pulled in a bunch of stuff that Suda has said over the years. And this man, like, he can't be trusted sometimes. Like, at one point he said that No More Heroes 2 would be more violent than Manhunt 2. Like,
oh, yeah, I do remember that quote.
Yeah, so, I mean, he definitely knows how to grab a headline, and I wonder if this is him, like, kind of waving No More Heroes goodbye in an attempt to, like, make people, like, more fervent about getting a fourth entry.
Right.
Or something. But I do know he said he's done for now. And I hope that's, you know, I'm curious to see what he moves on to if he is, in fact, done with the series for now. Just because...
Killer 7 too.
Yeah, there you go. Killer 7 2, the silver case again, maybe.
Have you played No More Heroes at all, Masae?
I haven't, but I've seen things of it. I feel like a lot of games, I'm like, I've seen that, I want to play that, and then you know how it goes.
I'm trying to think if you would like draw to it because does the idea of a weird otaku getting a hold of a beam katana and accidentally killing a high ranked assassin in order to get with a woman and then trying to become number one to get with that woman appeal to you?
Yep, absolutely. Let's go. Let's
you
go.
That is the
down.
plot of No More Heroes 1. It's just like, no, that's
I've heard
all
it's
it
funny
is.
as heck. I've
Oh,
heard
yeah.
No More Heroes is funny as heck, and I like if it has the humor and it has the draw, then I'm down for it. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm
And
like,
it does
I
have
would
that in
play it.
spades.
I would absolutely play it.
It really does. Yeah, I think it's a great series. I think you should check it out. If I remember correctly, Emil surprised you, Derek, last time he was on, and he mentioned that he was a fan of No More Heroes.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I like No More Heroes, but I've only ever played the first one. I have the second one, but I've just never sat down to play it. I don't know why.
The second one is the shortest game in the franchise. Takes like 5 to 6 hours. I definitely recommend it if you.
Well, shorter than Travis Strikes Again.
Yeah,
That's
actually,
wild.
quite a bit, because there's no fluff between missions. You don't need to collect money. You don't need to do anything. You just mission to mission jump in, and the missions are pretty short. Yeah, you can power through that game in 3-4 hours if you really know what you're doing. But
Nice.
even I can't do that. All right, so we have almost reached the end of today's show. It feels like the news went really quick today. Probably better that we didn't get into like a full-on Metroid spoiler discussion. But
Probably. We'd be here a lot longer.
damn if it's not tempting. All right.
Here, Masae, this is why you should consider these spoilers.
Exactly. I know, right?
Lay it
Damn
on
it.
me. Let's hear it.
Speaking of
Spoil
Metroid,
everything.
Nice. I don't want to be spoiled. I'm done. Like, Nintendo, you have my money. Just please give me Metroid now. Like now.
Yes, please.
I'm gonna end up finding where someone from the treehouse lives and just ask them to like let me watch. I'll be like, just play it. I'll just look through this window. You're not breaking NDA
God.
if you don't know I'm outside. Okay, that was creepy. Anyway,
Yeah.
Our final super chat of the show comes from Neo Samus with a $19.99 super chat. Thank you so much. They say, longtime listener, first time super chatter. Wanted to say you guys are fantastic and wanted to comment on the Dread trailer. I agree that they did reveal a lot, but it's very possible that there are still secrets to be shared. Oh, absolutely. I don't think they've shown everything. And I do think there will be a fair number of surprises, but as I said,
I think it's mainly one thing. That one thing is definitely the one that's like, everybody's like, oh, but it's so cool going in fresh.
I've been hearing that there's kind of like a big reveal that got spoiled in this trailer, and that's enough to keep me away personally. But, you know, everybody has their own tolerances for stuff like that, and some folks don't even know what is and is not a spoiler because, you know, this game's going to draw in a lot of new fans,
nothing.
and that is a great thing because it means that the future of Metroid is brighter than ever. And I'm really happy for those folks. I'm just choosing now, like I've reached the point where I'm just in a media blackout for Metroid. It's only 2 more months. I know I want the game. I've already
have more Dread reports coming.
I'm not going to read them. At this point, I'm just like, you know what? I will, once I have the game and I've played it at least a little, then maybe I'll go back and consume that content. But for now, it's like, I know I want the game. You don't need to show me more. Like Breath of the Wild 2 also, I don't need another trailer for that. I'm buying that. Like Pokemon Legends. You don't need to show me anything. You got the money. Like, but I do agree that these trailers should exist, and I think the case for them existing is ridiculously strong for Metroid. It is a series that has not really gotten its due from Nintendo in the past, and I love to see that they're actually giving it, you know, the time of day this time around and giving it a chance to succeed with folks that don't normally pick up these games. That's wonderful. The more people play Metroid, the more Metroid games we'll get. So Nintendo, keep doing what you're doing. Spoil everything. I don't care. I won't watch it. But if it brings new fans in, if it brings people in that otherwise wouldn't have bought this game, then keep doing it and keep making Metroid games, please. All right.
There you go.
With that, we've reached the end of today's news. But before we go, Masae, where can our lovely audience find you and the content you create at?
Yeah, hello. I do Twitch. I do the Twitch thing. I play lots of games. I'm a variety streamer. I do some Super Mario 64 speedruns fairly often as well, which is fun. I do the Twitter thing. I'm going to do the YouTube thing again soon, I promise. Taking some time off from that. But yeah, I'm on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. I forgot the main one. My bad. And I do art too, so I'm all over the place. I do a lot of different things. I just am a nerd on the internet, living life. You know how it be.
I do.
That's a
And
good
is
way to
that
be.
Masae Anela everywhere or?
Yep, Masae Anela everywhere.
All right. So
Same
right.
thing. Oh,
Good on
right
you for
now,
claiming all that.
We've got that. I know, right? And right now we've got that YouTube and her Twitter down in the description below. We'll get Twitch added as soon as I can find the edit button. And with that, we have reached the end of today's show. So we have to give a huge thank you to all of our patrons, big and small, for helping us to keep the lights on here, helping to make this show happen 3 nights a week. We really could not do it without your help. It means the world to us, especially when, we're already working so hard on so many other things. But I'm happy that we're able to be here with you 3 nights a week. But we do have to give a special thank you to our patrons at the producer tier. There are so many of you. I watch this thing scroll 3 nights a week, and I'm kind of astounded by how many people are willing to support us. Y'all are the best. We could not do anything without you. None of this stuff that you see that you like would exist without your help. But finally, an extra special thank you to our patrons at the executive producer tier and above. And those fine folks include Jared Edinger, Brandon Bovia, Rob Arman X, Itiono Ben, Dan and Twistle, Dennis J, Z Patty, Hyrule Hermit, Sky Blue Flames, Adam O'Sullivan, Octo Puppet, Richard Herrera, Michael Phone, The D-Pad, Vesmio, Waffle King, Kitty Kong Facts, Angel Martinez, Vedran Hotik, 112, John, Joshua Hunter, Evernight Studio, Benny Yao, Azran127, Pagrema, Kenrule09, Jake Pelka, Geller, Joseph Rutkin, Geeky Griffin, Lucky Wonderfish, Kyle, Top Dog 23100, Young Ben Kenobi, Doug Shomix, Andrew Medeiros, Joseph Bayer, Orem M, Sakuragi, Becca, Rox the Cat, Fizzywig Hoyd, Critmonger, The Legend of Groose, Eddie B, Kai Ed, Kit Fisto, Kenneth Lee Stingle, West Egg, Deaneth, Kota, Michael McCaw, Matthew Wong, Goron Amber, Straight Lace, Justin Matthews, Hoobie, Too Much Spaghetti, Mega Conrad, Ascaron 809, Kane, Captain Finlandia, 60 Minutes and 60 Seconds, Christopher Masterson, Spicy Pandaughter, The Game Orb, Dano the Artist, Grantles, Ravelox, Synchrolord, Brainchild, my mom, hi mom, Kotar Pack, Scuff196, Kane Woolley, Skull Kid Tiger, AJB Cool, Blizzica, Jason Uloa, Jaden Buck, Phantom Project, Cystic Warrior 29, Super Dank Awesome Unicorn Guy, Darik, Nathan the Voice Actor, Chibi J, Bongo Lover, Mumbling Yeti, Cameron Sharp, Fangs, Dinner Sonic, and finally, our newest EP as of this episode, the one, the only, Mason Riley.
Ooh, thank you.
Thank you all so much.
Nice.
Thank you
Good
to
job.
Mason Riley
Good
for
job.
joining the EP squad during the episode.
Such
We
a
appreciate
list.
you so much. And if you too would like to become an executive producer or a patron of any kind, you can support us over at patreon.com/gvgaming, where for as little as $5 a month, you can follow us on over to our live post show, which happens every night after TNT, and which we're going to right now. So again, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe if you like this episode of TNT or any of the other stuff we do. Check out Derek's new Metroid discussion when you have a chance. But until next time, folks, good night and good vibes.
Good night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.